Hi, welcome to our channel. I'm Tatyana Edwards, your local realtor, and we're doing a segment about Meet Your Neighbor. And today I have Linda Rowland with me, and she is a founder of Positively Asheville. So Linda, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I have been a recent transplant to the Asheville area. I grew up and lived in Minnesota most of my life, but as I got older, Minnesota got colder. So I needed to find a new place to live, and in my search, what I and my partner found was that Asheville was both beautiful and inspiring, and so here I am.
Oh, I love Asheville. I've been here, 27 years. So, still mountains are calling me back. So we are doing a two-part video. So today, you guys actually are going to learn some of the personal journey and the inspiration behind the Positively Asheville, the mission and the vision, and then some of the community collaboration. And then the part two, we will share a little bit more about the events, education, and some other things that Linda will share with you later. So let's touch base on your personal journey and the inspiration. What inspired you to create Positively Asheville?
Well, when I came to Asheville, I've always had a passion for business, and that was inspired from growing up in a family of entrepreneurs. I did not assume that I was going to find the perfect job or the perfect role going in, so I came in with the idea that I would learn and I would get to meet as many people in the neighborhood as I possibly could. So I joined about, I think 5 or 6 different business organizations, got to know the neighborhood that way, and started asking questions. I began here with a role of selling a magazine just to get started, just to start the conversation. And from that, thinking that that would be some kind of a similar function that I would fulfill later on, I believed that I would create something that would look like an electronic magazine, for example. And that is really how Positively Asheville started. I started with that in mind, but asking people what they wanted to see, what they wanted to learn about, what they wanted to read. And then in a couple of years, a little less than 2 years, I added an advisory group. And in their wisdom, they said, this has to be more. It has to be more than some communication tool that's out there. It's got to be live. And so that's where the whole idea of getting together on a regular basis started, was again asking questions, adding a team of advisors, and learning as I go.
Oh, I definitely enjoy the meetings when I come, and I got to meet a lot of wonderful community leaders. So it's been a great experience, definitely for me. What would you say that the word positively mean to you in the context of the organization, and of course in your life as well?
Well, positively means really keeping a sharp focus on what it is that you want and what it is that you love and enjoy. I mean, that's probably the strongest feeling that I experienced coming here, was that there was a huge amount of positive energy, and it came from both the arts and the business. And don't get me started, but I don't think that there's a whole lot of difference between being an entrepreneur and being an artist. They're all very creative.
Very true, very true. Good comparison. I like that. How would you say that the leadership has evolved since the beginning and into nowadays?
Well, leadership is a big word. A big word in the sense that it's almost like a generalized umbrella word where a lot of different descriptions fit under it. And leadership can mean different things to different people. I do a presentation where I say, you can look up leadership on Google and pull out 65,000 titles of books to read on leadership, and I'm not exaggerating. And every one of them will tell you something about leadership, and every one of them can and would improve your leadership skills if that's what you desired. But how do you sort that out? And so leadership to me is what you find as a leader. It's a personal thing. And it's something that we all have in common if we own a business, if we are leading an organization, if we're a founder of any type, we're all dealing with leadership. It's essentially what ties us all together. We all have those experiences going forward.
Yes. So, what are some of the personal values or life experiences shape the way you lead and serve others?
Good question. As far as leading others, well, I have an excerpt in a book that I and my partners have written that talks about the difference between leadership and management, where my partner Ron says, if you manage, you're managing things. If you're leading people. So leadership goes with people. And leadership has more to do with exciting, inspiring, and really informing people, sharing a vision, a common goal. And all of that is a whole lot easier said than done.
Of course, of course. So if we look at the mission and the vision of the Positively Asheville, how does it aim to impact the Asheville community?
Well, the mission and vision of Positively Asheville is a belief that we as leaders have the ability to help one another, lift one another in our pursuits and in our goals. So we focus on leadership as relationships, where we are co-creating our businesses, our organizations at the same time, having experiences that are of value to one another, so that when somebody hits whatever curve or bump in the road, there's a community there that can help them work through it. And right now, especially when there is such a lot of noise out there in the electronic digital web space, we don't have a way of finding that one nugget of information or that nugget of knowledge that could help us navigate that. None of us have time to sort through it all. So to have a community that's right there, right now, with people who understand you and where you're going is of really extreme value.
So another question that I had is about next level networking. I'm a huge networker, so I go to all kinds of events, and that's how I meet the leaders in the community and just learn about the new things that are out there. So what sets next level networking apart from the regular networking?
Well, next level networking, Tatyana, is essentially how you and I have come to know each other. Next level is different than, let's just call it transactional networking. When you meet a group of people and you can get a feel in the room that they're in there to find their next customer, and there's a lot of buzz and a lot of energy about, let me tell you this, let me tell you that. But in next level networking, we're really seeking out crucial relationships, meaningful relationships that are going to propel both of us forward in our businesses and in our relationships, and knowing that there's somebody out there that we share common interests, common values. That means we're pretty much inviting another group or sphere of people. It's like the 60 degrees of separation in reverse. We're bringing together these groups of people who have a lot in common, because Tatyana knows people who share her values, I know people who share my values, and now we bring them all together. And that's next level networking.
I love that personally, because when I started networking, it was like, okay, am I going to be a business to business? There's like a lot of different ideas of business to person. I'm a people. So I am definitely, when I come in, if I met you, like, I'll connect with you next time I'll see you. I'm again connecting with you because I want that relationship. I want to be like, oh yes, Linda does, Positively Asheville. Tony Morris is with the Sun Tzu martial arts. But he's not just Tony Morris, he's my friend, because over time he became my friend. So I love that. People to people.
People to people, it may be a little slower at the get-go, but believe me, it can snowball very quickly, and it's so much more satisfying than what people think about networking and what causes them to really not like it. Networking can be fun.
Yes, I enjoy it, any aspects of networking. So what is your hope for the future of Positively Asheville, for the Asheville community as a whole?
To backtrack just a little bit, I was part of a business forum since about 2012. I had joined it. They were on the West Coast, and at that time I was really seeking a group of people who could help me navigate my own business and understand. In my mind, there should have been an easier way to understand the sequence of events that would put your business together, put the puzzle pieces together. And what I learned from that network, well, it was a networking group, it was an educational business forum networking. We would get together quarterly and meet for about 5 days. What we took away from that were wonderful relationships with one another, friends that I have to this day. The founder of that organization has passed away. He passed away during COVID. But what I really wanted to continue in my life and to share with others was the power of those connections, lifelong relationships of people who had a desire, a passion to grow, and who would understand your passion as well. Because if you are prone to be an entrepreneur or starting an organization, you can very quickly find out that can be a lonely place, and you feel like sometimes you're the odd person out in a room. But when you have a room of entrepreneurs, a room of leaders, you feel at home.
That's great. So let's talk about community and collaboration. In what ways does Positively Asheville facilitate collaboration among local leaders, organizations, and small businesses?
Well, as I've been mentioning along our conversation here, Tatyana, is that we're focused on the relationships and having values that we can share and build trust with one another. So the collaboration is essentially an opportunity to, let's say, solve problems together, to crystallize visions, so that one of the biggest challenges with leadership is you have a vision, and maybe your vision, I know it's true for me, is out there somewhere, but right now it looks like something else in the present. And your people and the people that you work with, the people that you hire, see what's here right now, and you're seeing something that's out there. And one of the biggest challenges of that is to have other people see that and help you see that more clearly and communicate that more clearly. Because once you have more people seeing what you see, things happen faster and better and more positively.
For sure, for sure. I noticed that there are some nonprofits that are highlighted on the website, such as Men of Food Bank and WNC, which is Women's Business Center.
Yeah.
So what would you say their role in the community, and how do you integrate into those as well?
Well, it was very much part of the original thought was that our nonprofit organizations and our businesses are both there to help one another. We fulfill different functions, but from a business perspective, an operational perspective, we have, again, some of the same challenges. But one of the great things, for example, was the last time we met at Sun Tzu, where we meet monthly, is that our Executive Director Carl Chesick of the Center for Honeybee Research, due to Helene, lost their annual festival location, which was the Salvation Station, and now they were going to hold their annual Honey Fest and honey tasting contest at Highland Brewing. This created some problems because now there's some parking issues, and they're going to need to shuttle cars people back and forth in cars and trucks and so forth. Well, it turns out that Tony, through the relationship established, has basically loaned the Honeybee Center, the Honeybee Research Center, his vans for his martial arts school to help shuttle people from their parking lot to the new location, to Highland Brewing's campus where the Honey Fest will be held. And that's a classic example of collaboration between business and nonprofit.
Oh, I love that. I definitely love abundance mindset where you share, you have and you share, and you're able to, just see the community grow through all the positivity. And we know that there's a lot of people that are just moving into Asheville, and I know that some of them probably feel lost. So what would be your advice to them not to feel so lost or, get connected?
As far as feeling lost, it would be short-lived first and foremost, so don't worry about that, because this is a very warm and open community. Like everybody, there is a getting to know you period, and organizations such as Positively Asheville, and I'm not the only one, are out there to welcome the community in. Positively Asheville welcomes guests at every meeting. We hope that you will join, because there's so much more you can gain from it if you do join. But let's just say you're coming into town and you are starting a new business, or this is your chance at your dream job that you've always dreamed of. Going forward, as you build and work on whatever you're working on, you find yourself in the middle of either getting to know people, navigating the city, or working in your business as opposed to on your business. Positively Asheville is one of those places where once or twice a month at least, you can get together with others and get on top of things, work on the business instead of in the business, for example. And that's what's really great about Positively Asheville and about the Asheville community, is that they really are not inhibited by getting to know new people. In fact, it's quite the opposite.
Oh yeah, I enjoy meeting newbies to tell them all about the beauty of Asheville and things that you can do here. So what are some of the opportunities that are available to the individuals and the businesses to get involved or contribute towards Positively Asheville?
Well, what I believe very strongly is that all the answers to our problems are in the room. We have and we attract the help, the talent that we need when we are focused positively on what it is that we want to achieve. So one of the things that we do with Positively Asheville is we don't bring in, big expensive programs that speak to sell from the stage, for example. We believe very strongly that the people within the group have knowledge and value to impart on one another. So if you are a member of Positively Asheville and you know in your heart that you have something to share to the group, this is a great platform for you to come forward, share your business knowledge, share your leadership knowledge, and get some feedback from one another, because your audience will learn and you will gain clarity. And it's a wonderful thing to be able to multiply that awareness, knowledge, and creativity with people that know you and have your back, basically.
That's great. So this actually concludes our part 1 of the 2-part video series, and we'll meet with Linda again in a week or 2, and you guys will see what we have to say about other aspects such as education, challenges, growth, and of course the legacy, and some final thoughts that I have. And we are going to share about a book that Linda co-wrote It's called Conversations for Clarity. So stay tuned for that. All of the contact information for Linda will be in the comments below. Let us know what you thought. Do you like those educational series, or what else you would like to see on our channel? Thank you so much. And Linda, thank you for coming.
My
Appreciate
pleasure.
you.
Thank you, Tatyana.
Yes, thanks.